It's time to duel!
Welcome everybody, H here bringing the last deck profile for the loner deck in the current fusion event. We are featuring the Fluffals and Edge Imps. So there's a few cards here that we gotta get to. So the points of this fusion is to always have an Edge Imp in your hand or on the field, and a Fluffal card to fusion summon. We don't have any fusion substitutions here, so we do need the Edge Imp and the Fluffal card in our hand to make the fusion summons. So we're gonna get started with the Fluffal Dog. When he's normal or special summoned, you can add an Edge Imp Sabre or a Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. Good deck searcher. When you start the duel, normally you want to summon this guy first, Fluffal Penguin. When he's normal summoned, you can activate his ability and special summon one Fluffal monster from your hand. Great card, and plus, if this card is sent to the graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon of a Frightfur monster, you can draw 2 cards, then discard 1. Great draw effects. Most of these Fluffal cards has that ability when they are used as a fusion material. You can send it straight to the graveyard. You got the Fluffal Cat. Same thing, but when this card is sent, you can target one Polymerization card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Fluffal Rabbit. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Edge Imp or one Fluffal monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. These are great recyclers. When this card is normal or special summon, you can target one Fluffal or Edge Imp monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard for a fusion material monster, you can target up to 2 of your banished monsters and return them to the grave. All of these cards are great recyclers. Now, Edge Imp Sabres. If this card is in your graveyard, you can place 1 card from your hand and place it on top of the deck and special summon this card. Edge Imp Scythe. This card is quite devastating because you don't actually need a fusion spell card. This card acts like an polymerization but during your opponent's main phase. You can fusion summon using this card, including the materials either on the field or in your hand, and just fusion summon any monster you want. But it has to be one of the Frightfur fusion monsters. Great card. And also, if that card is in your graveyard and your Frightfur monster is going to be destroyed by battle or by a card effect, you can banish this card and your Frightfur monster survives that fight. Great card. Then you got Fluffal Dolphin. This one's about your toy vendor card. That is your continuous spell, trap, or quick play spell that they have in this deck. It's amazing, these cards. You have Harpie, Feather Duster, 2 Polys, standard Monster Reborn. This one you can fusion summon by banishing materials from the field or graveyard for the materials of your fusion summon. Insane. Frightfur Patchwork. This is your deck searcher for Edge Imp and the Polymerization, but you can only activate this once per turn. Frightfur Repair. You can target one of your fusion monsters in your graveyard, return it to the extra deck, and special summon one Fluffal or Edge Imp monster from your graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one of the Fluffal or Edge Imp monster from your hand. These are great cards. It's just, you gotta get used to the recycling of how Fluffals and Edge Imp works. It's very unique, this deck. Super Poly, 2 of them. Cosmic Cyclone, 2 caught by the graves. Necro Fusion. Frightfur March. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card or monster effect that targets a Frightfur monster you control, you can negate that activation and destroy that card. Then you can send one of the target Frightfur monster to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon a level 8 or higher Frightfur monster from your extra deck. Insane. Frightfur Jar. When you activate this, you can activate its effect by drawing 1 card. If it's an Edge Imp monster, you can destroy 1 card on the field, but if it is not an Edge Imp monster, you have to place this card on the top or bottom of the deck. It's not too bad, but for this card to work, your deck has to be heavily inserted with Edge Imp monsters. Now with the fusion monsters, the main cards I was bringing out, Frightfur Daredevil. When this card destroys an opponent monster by battle, you inflict 1000 damage. If this card is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by your opponent's card effect, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each Frightfur monster in your graveyard. Then I was using Frightfur Sabre-Tooth. He's insane because when you actually fusion summon this card with 3 or more materials, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect. Crazy. Frightfur Chimera. 3 Frightfur monsters, that means 3 fusion monsters. So if this card battles, your opponent cannot activate anything until the end of the damage step. Great card, so your opponent is immobilized for that battle. It's a great thing to have in Master Duel at this point. When this card destroys an opponent's model by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your field, but its attack is halved. Once per turn, this card gains 300 attack for each monster you control that is owned by your opponent. It's not too bad, not too bad. Frightfur Kraken. This guy is insane. When you activate his ability, you can target one monster your opponent controls and send it straight to the graveyard. Then, this card can make 2 attackers during the battle phase. Then, at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can change it to defense. Great card. I loved using this card. Amazing. Well, there are a few Frightfur monsters, but I didn't bring them out too heavily. It was more concentrated around Sabre-Tooth, Chimera and Kraken. This deck was really nice, but you needed more recycling or more deck searches. There was something missing in this loner deck. It was a step back compared to the other 2 loner decks, but it can still hold its fight up there when all the plays are done correctly. But I hope you enjoyed this loner deck. Make sure you grab them 3 gems before the event's over. Thank you for watching. H out.